Alright everybody, welcome back to another Deadrop video. Today, we got a couple of things to talk about. The first thing I want to cover though is a couple of days ago, Rob Bowling, Studio Head Midnight Society, put out a message in the Discord that was later retweeted on their Twitter account, or X, whatever you want to call it. But basically it's addressing the loot boxes that were for sale in the driver's key packages, right? So the message says, I'm going to get right into it. This is from Rob Bowling in the Discord. Thank you to everyone who participated in Snapshot 7. Continue to provide critical and useful feedback and help us iterate on how we introduce new content into the game. We will always be listening and using this feedback to directly decide what we build and how we build it, and iterate on existing designs and approaches to better meet the needs and desires of our community. Driver's Key Package sales will end permanently on December 21st at 6 p.m. Pacific. So look, if you are wanting to get access to the game but also support the studio, the Driver's Key Packages are a direct way to do that. Now, addressing the exotic loot crates that are part of the Driver's Key Packages, there's another official statement image that I'll read to you now. We want to thank everyone who purchased a driver's key, played Snapshot 7, and provided invaluable feedback to the many new features and systems being added to the game. We welcomed you all into the development process so that we could get feedback, data, and input into the balanced design and approach. Your contribution guides our decision-making process and determines what we iterate on the game and the platform that supports it. As such, we've heard your feedback loud and clear regarding the inclusion of exotic crates in the driver's key packages as a bonus to purchasing legendary vehicle wraps and license plates. There was a large demand for being able to obtain these exotic crates in another non-monetized way. In response to that feedback, we will be offering players the ability to earn exotic crates, which contain the same 100 items, by investing time and skill into completing new challenges that will be coming to the game. These challenges will be viewable and trackable via your profile on the Midnight Society website and will allow players who compete in them to earn all 100 crates. Remember, unopened crates can be traded with friends in a future update. For the dedicated players who have obtained over 40 exotic crates as bonuses for purchasing multiple driver's key packages, we will be reaching out to you with a special out-of-game surprise scaled based off of how many you currently have, to show our appreciation for your gracious support and belief in what we're building. Thank you for your continuous input into helping make this community and game the best it can be. Robert Bowling, Variant 402, Studio Head Midnight Society. So there you have it, folks. If you are looking to get one of the driver's key packages, they will be going away permanently on December 21st at 6 p.m. Pacific. So grab those while you can. The focus of today's video is about what's really next for Deadrop, right? We had Snapshot 7 in Las Vegas and the reveal event, which was a really awesome live event, a lot of fun. I got to go, I got videos on that if y'all want to check those out. But what is really next? What's the next big snapshot or reveal or release date? You know, what do we know? Well, in one of my previous videos, there was a clip of Doc talking about their focus for 2024 and how they're going to be bringing a lot more of the development behind the curtain. They're hoping that in 2024 they can bring the game to the finish line, as Doc was quoted saying. Now, we're all curious, what does that mean? And again, you know, what are we looking for a roadmap? Well, we may not have that much longer to wait, as there's a newly scheduled AMA with Robert Bowling this coming Tuesday the 19th at 12 p.m. Pacific time or 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm really excited about this AMA, and I think this is going to be one of the most important AMAs that we've ever sat in, because the studio is obviously pivoting from their open development cycle that they've been doing in the past year and a half. Up until this point, we've had different snapshots at different intervals, we've had live events and all these things. Well, now the studio seems to be making a shift in their development tactics to go what seems to be more of a AAA behind closed doors approach, to buckle down and just work on the game and try to get it finished. Now, we don't know exactly what that means or how much updates we're going to be getting this year. I've made a prediction that I don't think we're going to get a snapshot for a year. I think they're just going to try to finish the game and get it out by next year. I could see some quality of life improvements and smaller updates coming out, but a truly large marketed snapshot, I'm not convinced that we're going to have those anymore, but that's just my prediction. Don't take it, just take that with a grain of salt. Again, these are really good questions for the AMA that's coming up on Tuesday. So I urge everybody to write your questions down, make a little notepad, type them up, and get them ready, because this is when we really need to ask the hard questions. The studio shifting to what seems to be a non-open development approach is really counter to what they've advertised it at in the beginning. Now, again, I'm not saying one thing or the other. I'm not trying to assume anything here. I just know that if they do shift away from open development and really don't, shed any light on what they're doing for like another year, that's going to really cause some friction. And so I think this is our prime opportunity to ask these hard questions, like, can we get a roadmap? What is Midnight Society's new direction? What does it mean? What can we expect? And one thing I want the community to really push hard is please, please, please request and ask that Midnight Society keep really open communication. Now, communication has been pretty good most of the time for the last year and a half. They've been very transparent, way more than any other studio does, right? So, credit where credit's due. But it hasn't been perfect, and there have been times of radio silence, like leading up to Snapshot 7, there was like a good couple of months there where we heard almost nothing. So those are the kinds of things that I want to see Midnight Society kind of push a little bit harder on, because communication is going to be key, and especially if we run into this, more closed door development cycle where we're not going to get a whole lot of updates for the next year, potentially. If that's the case, I think communication needs to be ramped up even more. So I'm urging the community, let's just collectively and politely ask them, hey, keep us in the loop, give us a roadmap, number one. Like we would like to have a roadmap, so we kind of have the basic vision of where you guys are going, and then let's hold them to it on the communication, and let's have intervals of, maybe once a week we do a community a community spaces or something, or a community, not an AMA, but open forum like that, maybe once a week or once every couple weeks, just so that they're keeping us in the loop with kind of what they're doing. They can give us updates without spoiling what they're working on per se. But I think those kinds of communications are what will help be the glue for our community, right? Because the glue right now is not perfect. There's inconsistencies in communication, and things that have been said they're going to do, and what has or hasn't been delivered on. And I know that's a big talking point with a lot of people. So I think the number one cure to a lot of that is, again, communication. Because if something changes or is going to change, the sooner Midnight Society gets ahead of that with their communication, the easier that transition is, right? Especially if you're gonna go from a really rough transition of open development to bringing everything behind closed doors, right? The last thing anybody wants is to be left in the dark on what's going on and things like that. So, and that's the thing is a lot of community members, myself included, we've invested money, time, we've gone to the live events, we've done YouTube videos and promoted the game and all this stuff, and we do that because we're genuinely excited about the studio and the product that they're creating, and we just want the best version of it, and we're really excited, and with that comes a level of kind of criticism and expectation. So Midnight Society has the ability to set expectation, and they can get ahead of it with proper communication. And so, with the AMA, that's what I'm personally looking forward to. Is I want to see a roadmap. I want to see what's next for Deadrop. What's the vision? If you're going to go closed doors development, what can we expect for intervals, updates, snapshots? Are those going to happen, or is it going to be more low key? And what does that look like? And so that's going to be my biggest questions or question moving into the AMA. I want to know what you all think about the AMA coming up. What are your most burning questions? Let me know in the comments. What are we collectively as a community looking forward to or hoping for from Deadrop and the studio and their direction? That's pretty much all I have for today's video. I appreciate everyone for looking. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on future Deadrop videos. I appreciate all of you for interacting this year. This year's been crazy. The growth's been really nice, and we're only just getting started. 2024, I think, is going to be a really big year, and I'm so happy and privileged to be part of this community with you all. So thank you for taking the time again, for watching the content. It means the world, and I'm going to get out of here. So again, hit all the buttons, do all the things. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great holiday, and we'll see you in the tower. Have a good one.